on, and this is on, and we're good. 2, 1. Okay, we're out in the public. We're out in the world, Peggy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So TGIF,
Okay.
it's Friday,
Yay.
and Peggy's here today. So
And the sun is shining. It's not raining yet today.
it's beautiful. It's a great day,
Yes.
and it's May 31st. I cannot believe that tomorrow is June. So today is the last day of May, so we're saying goodbye, May, and we'll be
Yes.
saying hello, June. And hello, everybody that's watching today.
Yes, happy Friday.
We have kind of a cool thing today because in our paper party sale, we have these super value packs, and they are the 4x4 pre-cut pieces of cardstock. Look how thick that is. It's probably what, maybe 4 inches thick?
Here's my ruler.
Oh,
let's
measure it, Peggy.
It is just over 3 inches.
Okay, so about
So,
3
yeah.
inches thick of nice
Yeah.
stacks of cardstock,
Right,
lots
4x4.
of colors. It's $5.99. It's normally $6.99, but for our paper party this week, it is $5.99. So you save a whole $1.
And it's a really good deal.
It is a
Great
good deal.
deal.
And Peggy has used it how many ways? 4 ways.
4 different ways today.
So
4 different ways.
Of course, when we gave you that, Peggy, I wasn't sure what you were going to come up with because all I could see was 4x4 sheets of cardstock on my layout. But Peggy, of course, came through, and she's got 4 ways that she's going to show us how to use the super value packs.
Yep.
And that's going to be really fun. You're going to love it. It also is, we have today and tomorrow left from our paper party. So don't miss out on that. Stock up on your adhesive. And I always say try a new adhesive. Get that 49 in market paper. That's only
Right?
99 cents a sheet.
What a deal there. I mean,
I
it's
know.
beautiful paper.
Quite a few staff members have come in earlier, stayed late,
And,
and
the
filled their-
trimmers. And the
Yep,
trimmers
and
too.
the trimmers are
because
on
I
special.
use that on all of these layouts today.
And that's the Tim Holtz trimmer in
Yep.
both sizes. The 6.5 inch and the 8.5 inch are only $19.99. So you save $5 on the smaller one and $10 on the larger one. So there's a lot going on here at Memory Bound. And we have some product to show you that came in. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to go ahead and show you what Peggy's got today.
Yeah.
So Peggy, we need to go over here because one thing that's happening is Maggie is releasing a kit.
So cute. I saw this morning. I love it.
This is a canvas board, and it's like finished on the back. It's 6 by 8.
And look at the stitching.
It does have real sewing on it, everybody. We have pre-sewn your papers, so you don't need a sewing machine.
Right.
And Peggy's got the kit there, and how much is it, Peggy?
It is $26.99.
So it's $26.99. You get all the pieces you need, and it's online, and it's available now to order. And you know what is even extra special about this? It is a class. So it will be in a private Facebook group, and you can make it with Maggie, or you can watch it later.
Look at the
So
charm.
you can, I know it's got
I
the little
love it.
charm. And she's got all the
layered
ribbon, the
things. Oh,
twine,
wow.
and look how grunged
There's
up
just so
these
much
pieces
to look
are.
at. So much to look at.
And one thing you get in the kit is a full package of the With Liberty ephemera pieces from Photoplay, and you only use maybe 4 or 5 pieces, so you're going to have a lot of leftovers also. And Peggy, wouldn't this be nice just to have out on display?
Oh gosh, yes, I love it. I
So-
love it. 4th of July. I love the red, white, and blue.
So you can make it on your own because Maggie wrote directions, but you can also join our Facebook group and make it in class live or later. And the class is on Friday, June 14th at 1 o'clock. Maggie will be live in the private Facebook group. And there is all the instructions on how to get to the Facebook group in your package. So that is all available there. And we're going to have to make that Facebook group visible too. I think it's hiding right now out in Facebook land. Okay, the other big news, Peggy, can you grab that glue press?
Yes.
So My Sweet Petunia got another load of glue presses in.
Yay.
And Peggy, I'm going to have you open that so we can show what you get.
Sure.
If you have a glue press, give us a thumbs up or tell us what you think about it. I have one and I absolutely love it, and I did not have mine until the very last batch that we got in. So in the
Okay.
box, you're going to get an empty bottle that you can put whatever adhesive you want or
Right.
product. And it also has a little bit different lid. It's gray, and that's got a bigger tip on it. Oh boy, the thumbs up are rolling in,
Yes.
Peggy.
Yes. Oopsie.
And then you
Oopsie.
get a full bottle of the Nouveau glue.
Yep. And it's already loaded.
Yeah, it comes loaded right in the glue press itself. And then that rubber band that's hanging there, you don't need that unless you want to use it on a journal like Diane's album kit, which we need to find that. I don't know where that went. There. Okay, we got to show that today too. And the cool thing about it is if Peggy, if you take that lid off, we can just show how it sits right in this little stand. So it's perfect.
Nice
your glue does not clog. It just sits in there like so. And when you're working on a project, you just take it out, pull the trigger, get a little glue, put it back in. We've talked about this a lot, but there's a pink little plunger in there that holds it, seals it so it does not get hard, and it's got a little spot here for the cap. So you are set. And honestly, I have loved mine. We have sold a lot. If you don't have one, check it out. It's $34.99 and they're back in stock. We ordered a lot and we've got a reorder in, so we've got plenty here. And a lot of you had your name on the list, and we tried to call people yesterday, but the phones in Iowa here had a serious problem. Even the 911 calls were not going through. So I think that's fixed, and we'll be calling you if we had your name on the list, but you can always go online and you can get it ordered also. And there's lots and lots of people talking about it here and how much they like it. Okay, and we also had a question about the fabric. So we have the Tim Holtz fat quarters. There's two different ones. We've got the one that's a little more neutrals, and these came in maybe a couple weeks ago, and they're $39.99, and they've got 10 different fat quarters with them.
It's so pretty.
And then look at this one, all the colors in this one. That color right there is beautiful. And we do carry Tim Holtz fabric, and you can buy it in what we call our crafty cuts, or you can buy it by the yard or the half yard. And these fat quarters are something new that we haven't had very long, that were offered by the fabric company that Tim distributes his fabric through. These are the newest colors here. The blocks, the color blocks.
The distressings.
Yeah, oh, I know. They're all that's pretty cool. And there's 3 different sizes of squares. So those you will find online in our fabric category. So Melissa asked about that, and I'm so glad you did. All right, let's see what we've missed, Peggy. Janet linked all that for us. Oh gosh, Mary says, in 27 years of scrapbooking, this is one of the best tools ever.
There's a good testimonial there.
That's a wonderful testimonial. So thank you, Mary, for sharing that. Then we've got some things in this tub, Peggy, that we want to share.
Okay.
This is the Simple Stories, and it is the Metal Flowers card kit. And hold it maybe straight up more. There, we don't have the glare. But what we've shown this, but what's really cool is Diane and Katie have, I'm going to say, curated. They've curated a ribbon bundle. So we now have a ribbon that's got the same coral pink and the lavender and green, and it's got 3 ribbons and 2 twines, and you get a yard each, and that's now available. And then Diane just went and got we've got one for Linden Market, so we'll get that and show you when we get it here. And then we have some die cuts that came in, and if you know me, I love die cuts, and these are all in their themes. And there's a cannon with some cannonballs.
St. Louis Zoo. And Victoria, Canada.
And Maggie said that's where her son got married.
Victoria, Canada?
Victoria, Canada, yeah.
Wow. And Magic Kingdom.
Just wait, you guys. We're going to be having a Disney party.
Universal.
This summer. We're going to be celebrating the happiest place on earth.
Go back here. Check up to go with the paper that Diane showed yesterday.
Oh yeah, with the nurse paper.
Nurse paper.
Dawn has a question that you can buy just the ribbon. Yes, you can absolutely buy the ribbon package.
Yep, the ribbon package is $5.29. So that's sold separate. Moose.
Got our moose here. Moose on the loose.
Father's Day's coming up. There's
Grandpa.
another
I know. I
Grandpa's
think we were out of Grandpa.
Yep. And we've got 10 months and 12 months.
And we have all the months, and they come in pink and blue for those new baby books.
And a lot of firsts, too. Here, we'll go with this one first.
Oh, there we go.
So my first haircut, we have a lot of firsts. A lot of first holidays and things like that. If you're doing a baby book, Jamaica, for those
like
vacationers.
A good place to go.
No kidding. And then we have Snoopy. And then we go to sports. We have some cross country for those still working on graduation albums and things, soccer. And then the baseball border.
And we have football,
which is so nice.
And
it goes
softball.
either way.
It's a nice 12-inch border for your layouts.
Vacationers, Mackinac Island. This is one place I've always wanted to go, up in Michigan.
I've been there, and it's pretty nice. But the big question is Mackinac or Mackinac? Mackinac.
Oh, okay.
Mackinac.
I don't know.
I think it's Mackinac.
Okay, Michiganers, tell us which way does it go?
And we got Spider-Man's here. And then we have some paper tablets that came in, and this one is called Grunge.
And this is from Crafters Consortium, right? Craft Consortium.
And this is the festive tones, and Peggy can flip through it. These paper packs are really popular, and
these
you get
great.
I think 4 of each paper.
These would be great on canvases, backgrounds on canvases. Really pretty.
And the die cuts we showed you, Janet just mentioned it, but you're going to find things like that in our themes. Now this is new. This is called Bright Blooms. And when Peggy opens this, it's got beautiful watercolor flowers.
So pretty. Oh, look at that.
And Maggie's demo the other day with her Inchi cards, we thought some of these would have been really good for that.
Look at that one. That one would be great. I like how the backs are the polka dot.
You're right. They're all polka dot. I hadn't realized that.
Pretty.
So they're really a soft, beautiful watercolor
nice spring
patterns.
colors, aren't they? Spring into summer. That's really pretty. I like that. This would be pretty on the Inchi cards. Look at that.
And got the blues.
Yeah, so pretty. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that yellow is gorgeous.
And we go into more of a goldie.
So tell us again what that's called and how much it is.
This is Bright Blooms by Craft Consortium.
And so Bright Blooms, and how much is that, Peggy?
It's $14.49.
And you get 30 double-sided papers, 20 different designs.
Yep.
And then, believe it or not, you guys,
Christmas.
This is Christmas. We've been ordering Christmas already. It's hard to believe. This is Festive Flora, and it's also from Craft Consortium. And Peggy can flip through this because I flipped through it yesterday, and
look at that. These
it's
are kind
gorgeous.
of watercolory too. They kind of have that look to it. Look at the detail in there. So pretty.
So we've ordered quite a few Christmas collections, and it seems like we just finished up Christmas, but a lot of them start shipping in June and July, and even before Halloween they'll start coming in.
These will be, you could fussy cut those.
I love to fussy cut.
Yep. Those are nice size to fussy cut.
And that's a 12 by 12 tablet. And those poinsettias are nice too.
You can fussy cut those too. So pretty. Oh, this one's really pretty. I like that one a lot.
That seems really.
Wow.
Oh, and so's the other side. This one is good too.
Yeah, so pretty. Look at that. Looks like a church altar.
Nice card backgrounds for sure.
Very, very pretty.
Okay, and then we need to show the ribbon for the linen market.
Did you want that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, Peggy ran and got this. So yesterday's video, Diane launched a kit from 49 Market with the Academia product, and the kit, I can't remember how much it is. Janet can link it for us. But you get everything you need to make this album, and it closes up like so and has an amazing front on it. We're back. Sorry, guys. There's something coming through the top. So it has this amazing front cover, and then when it opens, on the left side you have like a binder mechanism with pages to put your photos on and your memories, and on the right side, Peggy, I'm going to have you pull that out.
Sure.
On the right side you have a journal, and Diane also decorated that. This album kit was designed by Janine, the owner of 49 Market, and Diane took a virtual class in a virtual trade show, and so Diane made it up. But the kit comes with directions. You get the album, you get the binder rings.
Gosh, this would be great just for school years, just to keep, from kindergarten through 12th grade.
It would absolutely. And Diane said maybe for a teacher.
Yeah.
Could give it to a teacher.
For pictures during the year.
And I guess it's $59.99. So I apologize that I didn't know the price right off the bat.
Wow.
We don't have a kit sitting here, but
Very
there's
pretty.
that beautiful album using the Academia collection. Okay, now we need to look at the Linen Market ribbon, and I think that might be over here. Or actually, Peggy, oh, it is over here. Okay.
I'll go get one of the card kits.
All right, Peggy's going to grab a card kit.
Yep.
So the Linen Market, we've also curated. I love saying that, you guys, that we have curated some product, but this is the ribbon for the Linen Market, and it works for the card kits, but it also works for any of the Linen Market product, and that's the new collection from Simple Stories. And there's the card kit. Peggy went and got it for us. And it's got that beautiful yellow and red and blue, and then we have the ribbon. So the ribbon is here, and there's the card kit.
The florals are really pretty in this collection too.
And Peggy, I'm remembering one more thing we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow, well, we'll talk about this at the end of the day too. Teresa has designed a card for us for tomorrow's Take It project. So between 11 and 1:30 tomorrow, if you're local and you want to stop in, we're doing this, it's for my birthday. Tomorrow we're having kind of a celebration. So if you want to stop in and make this card with us, there's no charge again. Okay, I'm back. So there's no charge for this at all. If you want to make a donation, we'll take donations for the food pantry because they always need help. But you'll be able to stamp this and assemble it, and you'll have a birthday card. And then we're also having cupcakes. And Peggy, Doug went to get the cupcakes today.
Oh, good for Doug.
I told him he didn't have to make them. He just had to pick them up, and he said he would take care of that for us. So that's tomorrow. If you're in town or you're local, come on in. Yeah, and bring
wear your party hat.
Party hats. Oh my gosh, we need to show. Can you grab Kendra's party hat?
Yeah.
Kendra is not here because she's working at another job, at her real job, but she brought in her party hat last night.
This is so
and
cute.
Look how festive that is. So we will keep our party hat Facebook album updated, and we'll add that to the group. And then Peggy, you got your hat to show too.
Yeah, mine's
so
over
let's
on
check
the
out
table.
Peggy's hat. But look at, and we have, if you'd like to make a party hat and decorate it and send us a picture, we would love that, and we'll post it on Facebook. And then you can see all the different ideas. And there's no charge for the party hats. We have them here. If you ordered online, it is a penny because that's the only way we could get it online for people. Or you can write it in the notes that you want a party hat, and we'll get it taken care of for you. So, wow, okay. Well, let's check out Peggy's hat. And, oh, Janet got hers today. She said she got her hat. I'm reading comments. That's why I have to slow down, guys. It's hard to read and film and walk at the same time.
What are you looking for?
It's kind of like walking and talking and chewing gum and all that stuff. But we do have a lot of the 49 and Market paper available. I think we have 85 different styles still available, including this beautiful butterfly paper. And that's all online. If you go to memorybound.com and go to shopping, you'll see our paper party. This is another one that I thought was pretty amazing. I'm distracted right now. And Peggy, Letha says she wishes she could come to our, oh my gosh, she wishes she could come tomorrow. And I wish you could
Lisa,
all
I
be
wish
here.
you could too.
Okay, here's Peggy's hat. It's kind of weird because I got the camera over her head, but look at here. This is Linen Market, which we were just talking about. And that looks amazing. I like the little festive things coming out of the top. So Peggy brought her hat in today. And she's going to show us some things made with Linen Market, which is awesome. So if you did get a hat, it's not too late. And some of you are just receiving hats. We have a couple questions. We're taking pictures for however long. We'll just add them to the album here that we have on Facebook. So not a problem, because I know sometimes if you're out of town, it takes a while to get them. And we love to see all the creativity. And Peggy, you have a lot of creativity. And
sometimes.
And here's what we gave her to work with. The Super Value Pack, if you're just joining us. Do you want to tell about it, Peggy?
Well, yeah. The Super Value Pack, each pack is a little bit different, so no two packs are going to be the same. But if you look at it, look how many different colors you get in there. You get such a wide variety of colors. Some of them even come with the sparkle paper in there, so sometimes you get a little bit of bling in there. But it also gives you like a couple of each color. So when you go to use them, you don't have to worry about, well, is this red going to match that red? Because you'll get the same thing in there. And the other nice thing about this, like Kelly said, we have them on sale this week for our paper party for $5.99, and you get 300 of them. And just because I'm kind of a math nerd, I went ahead and I kind of did the math to figure out how many sheets of 12 by 12 paper you actually get for 300 pieces. And when I did the math, it came out to 33.3.
33.3
sheets of 12 by 12 paper that you're going to get for $5.99.
Which would probably be maybe a $30 value, something like that, $29.50 or something value.
Exactly. And the best thing is, these are already cut for you, so you don't have to cut them, and they're all the same size, so there's no human error in there, so they're all going to be the same size for you. They work great. You'll see through our demo today. Photo match, you can cut them into different shapes. You can use them even for die cuts. If you want to die cut, something.
I thought
this
they'd be
is
handy
great
for die cutting because they're small pieces.
Yeah, exactly. It'll go through your big shot, and you don't even have to trim them down. So, just really a great deal. And they work on cards. They'll work on the square coasters. They'll fit on there too.
Oh, that's right.
So lots and lots of different uses on this. And $5.99, you can't go wrong with that.
They're
price.
normally $6.99, so you save $1.
Yeah, I mean, gosh.
I like the idea of die cutting. Putting these in a box, and when you need to cut out a ladybug or something, you can just grab these or a word,
with your
and you're
scraps and stuff, and yeah, you don't have to trim them down. So it works out so well that way. And like I said, they're great for photo mats, great on cards. You can do just so many different things with them. And the more I started working with them when I was, working for this demo today, the more ideas I had, and I just ran out of time. Otherwise, you would have seen a lot more.
You have a lot of ideas here, Peggy.
You'd have seen a lot more.
We have a lot of ideas, and we're going to share them with all of you. Where are we going to start?
We're going to start with this one, because this one is just with, I use the 4x4 squares as my photo mat. So the solid color photo mat came from the package. So again, because you do get, a couple of each color in there, I could use, the red and the blue, and they would match. And just kind of match them up with my paper. I'm using the Flags and Frills line from American Crafts on this layout. This was one of our first 4th of July lines that we got, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I love the light blue in there. I love, there's even a little bit of pink in some of it, which is really pretty, but just all the different pieces for it, from the washi tape to the ephemera to the stickers, and we do have, there is some foam pieces too, like thickers, that came
very nice.
As well.
It's a great collection.
It is.
We have reordered it probably 3 times.
It just, and I love that they threw in those gold letters too. And there's some little gold and silver foil in the paper as well. So it's really pretty. So we'll go ahead and we'll start on this one. We'll talk about this one a little bit. What I decided to do on this is I wanted just to make kind of a grid, because I knew I wanted to stay with that 4x4 shape, and I thought, how am I going to do that? And just the quadrants on there I thought would work well. So I started out with just 6x6 white paper, so just like this, 6x6 white paper. This is 4x4, but a 6x6 piece of paper. And I took some texture paste. I thought, well, I'm going to just try something different, because
pretty cool.
One of my goals this year is to kind of step outside of my box and maybe do some more multimedia, use a little more ink, use a little more stenciling, that sort of thing. And I thought, oh, this would be kind of fun to use a stencil with texture paste and create my own background paper. So again, I started with just white cardstock, just smooth white cardstock, cut it into 6x6, and then I used the stencil from the Echo Park line, the Stars and Stripes, or Stars and Stripes Forever, is that right? Line, and just laid it on my white paper and took my texture paste and went over it. I used the translucent
so she's
paste.
using the translucent, and you just take a palette knife and you just wipe it on.
So I
and
over
she
a
even
couple
brought
different
palette
knives.
So we got the
too.
Tim Holtz palette knives
or
and the ones from Pink and Maid.
Yeah, so either one of those will work. Just, and it doesn't have to be a thick
coating.
Thank you. I couldn't even
Maggie
think.
says you should see your stencil through it, like the top, the part that doesn't have the holes. You should see that when you apply a paste, and that's why it's shiny, because you use the translucent. I really like that.
And then even when I applied the ink to it, I used the Tim Holtz Distress ink. In one was the Lumberjack Plaid, and the other was Chip Sapphire on that. And when I applied that, because I had the texture paste, those stars are still coming through. It didn't cover up the stars. They still came through, and which I love that look. So I was really happy with that.
It's really neat in person, everybody. I have to tell you, she brought it in, and I thought it was a pattern paper. And then I had to look at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is not. It's like got sparkles and shine. Very nice. I
just wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. And then I just took my paper distresser and I went around the edges of it, because I wanted those edges to be a little more defined. I wanted them to be, just a little rough. I wanted that texture on it. And I think that's one thing that you'll see through most of the layouts today is I like texture. I like to, have dimension and texture on things. So I did that. So I started with the 6x6 and laid those, I guess it's a little bit smaller than 6x6. I must have cut it down to maybe 5.5 by 5.5.
To make it
to
fit,
get that border. Yeah. So 5.5 by 5.5, and then put those on, and then I used the Flags and Frills pattern paper to put behind it, and I cut those, I think, to like 4.5 by 4.5 maybe. And then the 4x4 goes there. And then the 4x4 is actually a great size for Polaroid pictures.
I was going to say that these pictures, square pictures, are perfect.
Yeah. And this is my husband when he was in the service.
He was very formal
he
there,
was
Peggy.
drafted, so that kind of tells you, the era. He was drafted. He was in the service during Vietnam, and he was actually stationed in Panama, and he was part of the American Forces Radio and TV. That he was a newscaster. He's a sports and news director at a station in Panama. So he really enjoyed that. But I thought, I was working on it on Memorial Day, and I thought, well, this is just be a great way to,
That's
honor.
That's kind of cool that you were working on it on Memorial
So,
Day. I think
so
that's
I thought,
really special.
and I think that was maybe part of, the motivation for doing, or the, the inspiration for doing, this red, white, and blue, and of course this line too lends itself to that, and I just love.
Well, we think of 4th of July, but I think you're using it in a whole different way to celebrate somebody's military career, which is really amazing.
And I used the Tim Holtz Vault.
And that is the Vault rosettes, and that's where she got her
these
stars.
big flags, or big stars, big stars. And I had made those a while ago, and because I wanted to try out that dye, and I just loved it. And I had it, with this paper collection at home, and I thought, I'm going to add those onto this because I just really like it, and I want to really highlight that USA on there. And then I just used, different pieces from the ephemera package, and I had some die cut stars left over from a couple of projects that I just added in there. Again, up here, just some of the ephemera pieces from the collection. It
looks great.
And then my journaling block. These are just these are from the ephemera package too, these stripes, and I just fit my journaling in between that because I thought, it's very patriotic, and I wanted to stay with that. So I when this was all said and done, I didn't really know where it was going to go when I first started, but when it was all said and done, I really enjoyed it.
I think it turned out
wonderful.
wonderful.
It turned out nice. So
we do have a question about the stencil, and it's called Hope Your Day Sparkles, and it is from the Stars and Stripes Forever from Echo Park, and it's called Hope Your Day Sparkles, and you could probably use other star stencils if you have them. This one is $5.99, I think. Well, it's free. It's either
free
free
today.
or it's really expensive.
Yes, one of
but
the
I think
two.
it's probably about $5.99 for this particular one. And I think everyone's loving your technique with the background paper.
It was just very easy.
It is really neat.
Then to apply my ink, I just used the Pink Fresh brushes.
Oh, the brushes.
I just used these. And this
That's
is what,
such a sharp box.
I love it. I think I bought it for the box, actually. I don't.
It could be.
Maybe not the product, but the box, because I just liked how it did that. But you get the different brushes. You use different. You can use your reds, your yellows, your oranges, your greens, your blues. On the brushes. But these are the brushes that I use to apply the ink. And that's why the ink is not really even.
Then did
and
you
that
spray
was
it
what I
after
wanted.
that to
I
get the
didn't
little
spray
spots?
anything.
Really?
Oh, yes, I did. I did
You
spray it with
give it
water.
some mist,
yes,
misted it?
I sprayed it with water afterwards to give it a little bit of that mottled color. And
It's
things.
really neat.
just
I
really
think you
liked
could
it.
use this for graduation, this star
Oh,
technique
gosh.
or birthday, lots of things. The holidays.
Yep.
A star stencil is always a handy dandy
Right,
one for
right.
sure.
And I've started to become quite a collector of stencils because, like I said, that's one of my goals this year is to
Stenciling was my
use
goal last
more.
year, and I didn't make it,
So,
but I
yeah.
have been using them this year. So
I really like it. I really like doing
All right.
it. So
Peggy, while you're going to your next page, we
Yeah.
had a question about our paper party.
yeah.
And it goes through tomorrow. It does not stop today. So the adhesive is on sale at 20% off, and the 49 in market paper and all these handy dandy little storage bags and the paper that Peggy's using today, they are on special through tomorrow. So hope if you have other questions, just let us know.
Yeah,
I didn't know
look over
that
this
paper
one.
came back in stock. Oh my gosh, the birthday paper's back.
We're gonna. So we are starting with this is Make-A-Wish. Well, okay, it's kind of a
It's a lot of
collaboration
things.
of different papers. Make-A-Wish boy. I also used from the 6x6 paper pad from my little boy from Echo Park. That's the stripe through here.
Okay.
And then this is the Scrapbook Customs paper.
It's called Happy Birthday Words, and
Yes,
Peggy,
I love this
you
because
don't
the
know,
bright
but I
colors.
ordered this on a whim because on the computer it didn't look that exciting. But I think it was maybe during the pandemic, and we have had to reorder it over and over.
I love it.
because it does go with a lot of collections.
It
and
really
it's a
does.
nice background.
I mean, this is from Scrapbook Customs. This one is the Echo Park one from the
This is
Birthday Wish boy.
Make-A-Wish Birthday Boy.
And then if you don't use this one, if you have like a birthday for a certain year, Scrapbook
yeah.
Customs also has this paper. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, so I just pulled those out. But happy 4th birthday and happy 6th birthday. And this is double-sided too, so you get the cut aparts.
Yeah, I do. We've
And
sold
I
a
just
lot
love
of these.
that.
I really
This is
like
so
those.
great. This is great for just
And that's what she has in the center of her layout here is the words.
Yep. And then I used this strip down here
Oh, okay.
to go. I wanted to separate
border strip.
the border strip from the. I had the sticker sheet from the Make-A-Wish boy. I had the sticker sheet at home, and that's what I used for a lot of my embellishment on this layout. But on this one,
Yeah,
the
where's
4x4
where's
squares.
the 4x4s?
The 4x4 squares turned into triangles. And so I just took my 4x4 square, easy as can be. I laid it on my trimmer. Again, this trimmer is awesome when you use the 4x4 squares because they fit right in there. And I
Yeah.
just laid it on here, and you can see exactly where, line up those corners and cut it in half,
chop
and then
it
you
in
have your
half.
triangles. And so then I really
This
went
is
with
so
the
creative.
with the Roy G. Biv, color
All right,
combination.
where's Teresa? She needs
So
to
I
see
started
that.
with the red and went down to the, the blues. So I just took my triangles. I started at the top, laid one out, laid the next one out, and then laid the next one out. So everything is pointing to the center on here. And so you use just, the different colors. And again, because you get such a variety of colors in that 4x4
You could
pack,
do a lot,
you
yeah.
can do so much. And if you wanted to move this, closer to the edge, it makes a great border. I also thought, once I got it all on there and kind of got all my other pieces on there, I thought, oh, it needs something else. And I thought, well, why can't I use that to do my journaling?
That was really clever.
Why can't I put my journaling right
fill it
on
in
there?
nicely.
And so that kind of just added that little extra to it, and which I really love. I just love it. And you know, I use the stickers like for the 6 and the 4 to show their birthdays. But if you wanted to use the cut apart,
Peggy, you were
look at
very
this.
clever. Oh, sure, yeah.
You could have used that, you know. This one, or
We
the
have
other
those
one
for
has
every
a
age.
Yes.
I think through 21, and then we've got like 30 and 50.
You know, this
but
has 6s on there. I mean, the numbers are on there, so you can cut those out. If you even want to, you know, use, you know, you can use it as the background on there. You can cut different pieces out of here. Like if you wanted to fussy cut, I was going to fussy cut the candles, and then you know, I started moving in another direction there.
4 candles.
Yep.
I like what you did.
Or
It looks
you know,
really
even
good.
the balloons. If you know, if you want to cut the balloons out, or just the cake, or you know, use that. I just think there's just so many different uses for this that will go with your 4x4 triangles, and you just, you know, bring those together. You point it, you know, right there. Your eye comes right to it, and I think it's just a really happy, fun layout. It's just bright and it's colorful. And I think birthdays are bright and colorful, especially for little, you know, for little kids, little girls, little boys, both. I think it's just really
Janet
fun.
just linked our birthday theme, so you can find a lot of this
Yep.
things, or maybe other things you like in the birthday theme.
And if you actually wanted to, you could use the rosette
Oh,
instead of these little things
so she's talking about the rosette vault die from
could
Tim
use
Holtz.
that
This is one
rosette
of the
in there
few
too.
vault dies we have in stock. A lot of them are unavailable till June or July. So,
But yeah,
this
if you
is
don't have
popular.
the sticker sheet and you want to, you know, or you know, just circles. If you want to do that, you can cut those out, which I think
Very fun.
that just makes a nice little grouping, you know, to do that with the little flags and things like that. So yeah, nice, bright, colorful. I think this is just, you know, just a background sheet that I had at home. A lot of this one just came from a lot of the papers I had at home.
Lots of extras.
Yep.
Using your stash, which
Exactly.
is good, Peggy.
That's what we want to do sometimes. We just want to use that. So that was just a fun little.
You're going to
playful
find
one.
Peggy has a really good variety today.
I do. I have a lot of things
You've
going
used,
on here.
We use flags and frills. You use the birthday. You've got some crafty garden coming up.
Yep.
You've got some simple stories coming
Yep.
up from Mother's Day.
Yep. Our next one's going to be with Crafty Garden. Here, I'm going to just ruin my
And
display
then while
here.
you're getting that out,
Yeah.
Peggy, I'm going to just show the trimmer.
Sure.
This is the trimmer that Peggy just used. It's the 6.5 inch, I call it the chopper, because I think it sounds cool,
Yep.
from Tim Holtz. And these are normally $24.99 and they're $19.99. And so is the 8.5 inch, you guys, which is normally $29.99, and it's $19.99 also. So you save $10 on the big one and $5 on the little one, and that's through tomorrow. So they're nice to take with you to crops or to cut little things like Peggy was doing.
Yeah, I mean, to cut your 4x4 pieces, it's just perfect because they fit on there so nicely.
Well, it doesn't take up a lot of room on your desk either.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I can lay it off to the side
Look
and
at this.
you know, bring it back
Look at
and
this
forth.
good
So,
stuff, everyone.
you know, and we can't do a demo without the puffy hearts,
I
right?
know. I was
Right?
thinking about you and your puffy hearts.
Yep. I mean, it just blends so nicely.
These go really well with Crafty Garden.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they're just really pretty on here. This one, I don't know if you can see my 4x4 squares on here, but what I did,
hidden, kind
yeah, they're
of.
kind of hidden. What I did on this one was I cut them into 1-inch strips. So they kind
This
of,
was so clever.
so they're 1-inch strips. So I used 3 different colors that were in there. I used a gray, a black, and a white on here. So you can kind of see
Oh, I didn't even see
the
the
black,
white.
the gray, the white.
Okay.
All 1-inch strips. And then I added a pattern paper in there just to give it a little more oomph, just to give it, you know, just to kind of pull things together
Yes.
a little bit more. So
It's
here,
amazing, Peggy.
so here I've got, you know, my 3 solid colors and my stripe right in there too. On this one, what I did was I used the charcoal
Oh, from 49
Yeah,
and
from
Market, Color Swatch
Color
Charcoal.
Swatch, yeah. On that, I just had some of that at home. And then I used just, the gold yellow paper that I had that would match. This is the Color Vibe
Looks like maybe Dandelion.
Dandelion, and then the warm
Dandelion.
white is this background. And what I did is I cut this to like 8.25, 8.5 by 8.5. To do the 4 squares, it comes to an 8 by 8 square. So you have the 4 by 4, 4 by 4, 4 by 4. So you get an 8 by 8 square.
I think we need to just show something because I didn't realize that this is a square right here.
Yep.
So there's 4 strips, and instead of putting a square, she cut squares up and she put them in strips. So
Yep.
you have vertical, and then over here there's the same thing but horizontal. Is that right, Peggy?
Yep.
And then she's got vertical and horizontal, so they turn.
Yep.
I
And I'm
didn't
gonna
realize
show
your
right
background
here.
was 4 strips like that into 4 squares.
Yep.
That makes it even more amazing.
And so what I did, I started off with just finding the middle of the page.
Okay.
So, and I just used my ruler, found the middle of the page, and made a cross that way, a plus.
Okay.
And so then, oh, my hands, dirty paper. So then I could just take my strips, and I kept them in the same order each time, just turned them in a different direction. So I'm going to start with the gold here.
This is amazing. I did not know it. I just thought you had 3 strips. I didn't realize the white was a strip. I thought it was the background.
And then just for fun, you add, a little bit of color, a little bit of pattern. And keep in mind, the scale that you're doing. You don't want, a huge pattern on here because then you lose the pattern. So keep it kind of small. But, use something that's going to tie it all together.
I'm really glad you're doing this. This is something people need to see.
And then I'm just going to turn it a little bit.
I like these
This
colors that you're using. This is nice
So I'm going
too.
to turn it. And you'll see I'm not quite matched up perfectly, but my picture is going to take care of that. Oopsie, that wasn't very good. Let's try that one again. But you're just going to butt it up against that.
That's so cool.
And, it doesn't take hardly any time to do it. And that's the nice thing. You get a really fun little background.
And Peggy, I don't even know if she had a week on this because she was in and we're like, hey, can you do some layouts with 4 by 4 inch cardstock squares?
Sure.
And
sure.
she's like, sure. And then all I could think about was laying 4 inch squares around in different ways. This never even came to my mind. So then I see that gold is always kind of in
It's
the
gonna be
middle,
in the
which
middle,
we can't
yep.
see on here because of your
because
lovely
the picture.
layout. But oh
Yep.
my gosh.
And so the other
is
nice
really
thing
cool.
is that, if, because I don't always cut exact, especially with, the pattern paper, my picture being in the middle of it is going to cover some of that up.
Yeah, it's going to cover your
so
connecting
it's
areas.
Okay. It's all going to work.
Well, this is crazy. That's really, really neat.
So, it takes, less than a couple minutes to do it.
Yeah, and you could probably do it on a different scale also. You
Yeah.
could do 6
Absolutely.
inch strips and cover the entire page. You can't do it with the 4 inch squares, but
Right. You just have to remember to, turn the direction.
oh my, everyone is loving this, Peggy. Janet says she's going to do this on a card now. This is inspiring. It's kind of quilt. It's kind of like a quilt too.
And one of the things I really enjoy doing when people who have watched me for any length of time, they'll know that one of the things I really enjoy doing when I scrapbook, I like to create backgrounds on my papers. I like to create the background with
kind of like here,
yeah,
like you did on this page.
with different papers and things like that, different styles. So this is really the basis of of
Peggy,
this page.
So that's how she did
Yep.
this. You can't tell it as much because it's covered up, but it's really 4 squares. 4 strips make a square and 4 squares.
So you know,
Yeah,
it's
everybody
8
loves
by
this.
8. Then I think this is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 that I cut next, and then I brought this out, you know, a little bit further, just to. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers on there, and that's okay with me. I didn't mind that. I just kept adding, you know,
It
the
looks
different
really
layers and things.
awesome.
So,
You blew some minds.
So yeah, this is the basis of this page.
Oh my gosh!
So
we'll take a picture.
you
of
know,
that for
how
our
easy
blog.
was that? We got it done in what, 2 minutes?
Right.
You know, and if you start with your 4 by 4 square, and you just cut, you know, 1-inch
1-inch strips.
which, you know, so easy to do,
Especially on that little.
right? I mean, you just stick it in here, and you just start cutting. You know, it's 4.
So if you're not familiar
So
with
there we
this,
are.
this is 4 inches. So Peggy moved it to 3 to cut off an inch, and now she's
And
moving
2.
it to 2.
And
So
then
you
1.
don't try to put your start with. Do you have another square over there, Peggy?
Yes, I do.
So you don't want to. It's not as easy to start like with putting your paper on the
Right
1
here.
inch.
Yeah. I mean, you could,
You
but
can
it's
do it,
easier
but
to go the other way.
It's really smart, and you can't really see the numbers on here. But you know, if you have a 4-inch paper and you line it on the 3, you're going to get a 1-inch
Yeah.
strip.
So I mean, it doesn't even take time because these are already cut to 4 by 4. It takes, you know, 30 seconds to cut it down
Yeah,
to 1
it's
by
really
1.
cool.
So this is a really quick way to create a background on your paper, and a cute one. I mean, this would be a really cute background to use like kids at a playground,
Oh, that
or
would be
even
a
for a
good
birthday
one,
party. You could do
yes.
that for a birthday party too. You know, so very easy, very quick. And then, you know, you can, if you want to do the miter on the corners like I showed a couple weeks ago, to kind of
Sure,
frame
you
it
could
out,
do
you
that.
can
It'd
certainly do
be
that too.
lots
and
of
go from there.
options. It's
And
just
then,
so
you know,
fun.
your 4 by 6 picture is going to fit on here because that's what I used here. I used the 4 by 6 photo, and then I still had plenty of room to embellish around it. And I used the ephemera. Is that, yeah, the
So this
ephemera
is the
bits.
Crafty Garden ephemera bits.
I took it out of the package and I pulled out a bunch of the yellow because I wanted the yellow to be kind of that accent color, that highlight color in here, because there's so much, you know, the black and the grays and the whites. And I wanted to pop out some yellow in here. And so I opened this up and I started pulling out, you know, pieces of yellow that I thought I might use, that I thought I might like. And then the laser cut, the mini laser cuts as well, which are just so fun. I think I used the ochre.
Ochre?
Yeah, the ochre. I'm sorry. Instead of the Crafty Garden, I think I used the ochre.
You could probably use
yeah.
either, but you can see she's got
You
some
still have
laser
the yellow
cuts
in
here,
there.
and here's some ephemera, and
Yep.
here you got little tickets.
Right.
It's 114 pieces, so you've
Yeah,
got
there's
plenty.
plenty. You know, and I love that they have the big word. You know,
Yeah,
the word
I like
strips.
that too.
And you know how I like word strips, so
And
I added
this is
those.
Bandit, right?
This is Bandit. This is my puppy. He's 11 months old now, and he is. His name is quite fitting because he does like to steal shoes, and he likes to
That's
pull towels
perfect.
out of the bathroom on the shelf, and
Silly guy.
he loves to carry his toys all over the place. This morning I took a shower and I left the sliding glass door open so he could go outside. And when I got done with my shower 10 minutes later, 5 of his toys were outside too. So he was just having
He
a
was
gay old time,
busy.
back and forth and back
He
and
was
forth.
busy.
So he kind of, he's our entertainment at our house
Oh,
now,
I
so.
bet. I bet.
But yeah, so you know,
Cute.
and I had the little bubbles and baubles, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
That I used here. But I thought, you know, these little hearts
That little hearts, the
are great.
puffy shapes.
You know, the black also goes on here really well. The great thing about the puffy hearts from Doodlebug, you can get them, you know, in a rainbow of colors. And if you look at these, you get the gradient of colors,
I
so it
just
goes light
realized
to
that
dark,
recently that they
which
were
is
different
really
colors.
great. And you can get them to match anything that you want. So, you know, that's the one great thing
We try
about
to
Doodlebug.
carry those. We try to
I
keep
love
them in
I
stock,
love
every
them.
color. So
I did bring over a
we
little
have
bit
them
of
for people.
a few Doodlebug gems that would also work, you know,
Oh, sure.
on here too.
And these are the Harvest Pearl stickers.
Aren't those
and
pretty?
that yellow, I think
So pretty.
the yellow and all that gold would be nice on there too.
But I brought, you know, this paper over too because when I was cutting, you know, from the 4x4 pack and I wanted to get another pattern in there, any of these are going to work. any of these are going to work, you know, for this sheet
With the
here
charcoal,
too.
yeah.
I mean, any of those will work. So anything you have that, you know, kind of tie all that together works really well.
It looks great, Peggy. Awesome. And don't go away because she's got,
We got
one more.
We got one more.
We got one
and I'm
more
gonna
fantastic.
Show a fun background.
I
with
think
that
I mentioned
one
it
too.
earlier, but when we gave this to Peggy, I'm just so impressed at what she did, making triangles and strips and turning her page into quadrants. And just wait till you see the next one.
This one was fun. This was a design that I have seen online a few times and admired, but just hadn't really thought
done
about
it yet?
how to do it. And I thought, you know
I think
what?
you figured it out.
It starts with squares. It starts with squares, so why not try it? You know, and the nice thing about the 4x4 squares, again, is that these squares, to make these triangles, they get cut down into 2x2 squares. So again, you're going to take your 4x4 and you're just going to cut it to 2, and you're going to cut that to 2. So you start with a 2x2 square. And you'll see on this layout as well, when I went to select my colors for the solid that I did, I kind of followed that Roy G. Biv again.
That's good.
Because I think it gives a nice transition to the colors. Right, it just makes those colors harmonize. And I went with a light to a dark, and a light to a dark, and a light, and there's a dark in there too. So the 3 colors, I had 6 different 4x4 squares, but light to the dark, just to kind of, you know, tie in with the colors of the paper. And you'll see the pattern paper in the Mother's Day simple set.
So this is from Simple Stories, and it's the Mother's Day paper.
The background
I like
paper
the colors.
was
It's kind of like a ledger paper.
yeah, the ledger paper. And then, you know, I use this, and this as the 3 different
And she also
patterns.
used the page pieces.
The page pieces. I'm a sucker for page pieces.
Well,
I love
they're
them.
nice because they always have a title, and then they have larger pieces of die cut, larger die cuts and smaller ones, and they're $3.49. They're not very expensive, and they do your layout for you. So there's the package that she used. And you'll see she's got like the butterfly there, and love you so much. And she's got the another butterfly and the flowers, and then I really love how they did Mother's Day. Very
and
nice.
then, you know, you get the sticker sheet on here as well. And so I took some of those words, the love you so much.
The love you so much came
love
from
you so much
sticker
came
sheet.
up there. I can't remember which other ones I might have used. Some of these hearts maybe. But a lot of the pieces came from the page pieces that I really liked. Oh, I did use a couple of these sticker words down on the bottom below.
Everybody
the
loves
Day.
The sticker words at the
So
bottom.
I do too. Though they're
there's
just
one of
such
them
an
right
you
there.
know it's going to coordinate, and it just goes so well with it. So you know, like I said when I was talking about
that one's got
there's
sparkle.
sparkly paper, and how cute would that be on there too?
That would
if
be
you had
nice.
that. I just think it's so pretty, so pretty. I love the 4x4s. You can do so much. But anyway, so I've cut down one 4x4, and mind you that it's only going to take me one 4x4 of each color. So it doesn't take a lot of paper to do this. So I just take my 4x4, and then again I lay it, you know, on my cutter.
Right along the blade.
And the nice thing about this size cutter, it's just so easy to use, especially if you're using like a 2x2 square. So that's what you get.
And it cut, you know, you're cutting them like practically perfect.
I mean, it's
when you
easy.
when you start with a square like that, that's cut perfect. That really helps.
So easy. And I may have gotten a little crazy when I started cutting.
She's got a few
so
triangles
I have a few left over here from my project.
And then you can see that she did take the paper distressor from Tim Holtz, and she did, I'm going to just say scrape up the edges, because I think that's a good way to understand it more rather than just saying distress.
And you know, and if you don't have the paper distressor, your fingernail works. Your fingernail works.
Or sharp scissors.
Sharp scissors will work, yeah. right there. Your
And that
fingernail
paper's
work.
got, some of that has a white core which comes through, which I think adds another little
Nice little texture
texture to it.
Yeah. So, on this one, you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of triangles. And knowing that these triangles are 2 inches wide, and I wanted to start at the edge of the paper, I measured over to lay this out 2 inches. I used my ruler because I'm kind of anal in that fashion.
Some things I don't mind eyeballing. This I probably would need to see, Peggy.
And so there's my line that I'm going to start with. And so then I'm going to start, take the light pink. And I'm just going to lay it right along that line. So I have it right there. And because I measured over 2 inches, it's going to meet there, and it's going to go there.
So it's perfect.
So it's perfect there.
That's how you did it.
That's how you do it. And so then, where did my pink dot? So then the pink dot will come next. And then I'm just going to, butt that up against it so that I have, that kind of chevron-y kind of look to it. And again, I'm going to go right.
Chevron-y.
Chevron-y. I know. I should work for Webster's Dictionary,
You
right?
should.
So you just kind of go back and forth
See how
with
she's
it.
hooked them here, just like what she just did. Peggy, this might be a good time to announce our huge win last night.
Oh, yes, because we are awesome that way.
Yes. Last
What's
night.
our question? What's our question?
I don't know. Do you have one? I do not have one. I haven't really
I know.
thought about that.
I was so excited when I went home and I told my husband, what we had done, and that I knew the answer to one question all night long.
Well, we're a team. We're a team.
We're a team, yep.
Last night, Memory Bound had a team in the trivia. I don't even know what they called it. We're going to call it the Trivia Championship at a local place here in town. And our team came in second place.
Yes.
So congratulations to Maggie and Jennifer and Kim and Teresa and Chris and Peggy and myself. We were all there along with Doug. And we had Maggie's husband Randy was there too. So it was a lot of fun. And you guys should all be proud of Memory Bound because we did it.
We really did have a lot of fun.
It was good. And most of the questions we had no idea what they were.
Thank goodness most of them were multiple choice.
Yes.
So that we had, we had a chance. But we beat, 4 other teams?
Yeah, I think so.
Only one team beat us, so we thought we did really well.
I'm very proud. I'm proud of everybody.
Okay, so now I'm starting on the second row. And my second row, I'm just going to, nope, I did that wrong. We'll try again.
She's going to try, but you could do it that way.
You could do it that way.
You could just lay them out and figure out how you want to line them
any
up.
way you want.
Here it looks like she kind of went opposite.
Yep.
Is that a trapezoid? If you put those
Is that
together?
what that's called?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
I used to
But
know.
lay that on there. Use that. There we go. But you're just going to, use that line from your first row to guide your second row. Okay? And then you're just going to keep building all the way up. And this time I went with my darker pink because I'm, moving over. So, but I'm still using that same. I might not have enough of these.
So we should ask how many of you know what noble gas is, because
Oh,
I still don't
yes.
know. But that was one of the questions. And there was a question about London Bridge being disassembled and reassembled here in the United States.
And that's the one that got us
that
to.
took us to the top.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that I still don't. It's in a town somewhere in
Arizona. Lake
Chris,
Havasu.
Yes.
And Chris
How'd you
knew right
remember
away.
that?
Chris knew right away.
Chris, and
But
then
Chris had
Teresa.
studied flags.
Yes, before we left, Chris studied. So you can see here how Peggy's going light to dark. She has light pink and then dark pink.
Right.
And I didn't really notice the light ones here as much because they match the paper underneath.
Yeah.
I think you see them a little bit more on this.
Right? Yeah, you can see it against the white. It kind of pops out a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to go to my yellow. And I only have one shade of yellow for whatever reason today. So we're just going to
That
go
works.
with that.
So you left a little gap here?
I did. So there's a little bit of gap. So what I did with my ruler now
And
is, and there's no, I just kind of gave it a little bit of a gap in here. I don't really know how much room there is in there, but I lined up my point with my bottom of the page, and then I just took my ruler and kind of lined this up. Make sure I'm straight here. Oopsie. And drew my line again.
oh, okay, so you just drew your
Yep.
line.
And so now I know that even though, let me get it here. Now I'm going to have the right distance. I'm going to have an equal distance with all of
So
them.
that's where you drew the line.
Yep.
Okay. And we have some questions here. Jojo lives near the Lake Havasu, which
Oh,
is kind of
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And then when you start your page, Peggy, do you look at your embellishments and match those, or do you start with your embellishments, or do you start with your paper? I think is the question.
I usually will start with my photo.
Okay.
And then I will decide what paper I want to use. And then I'll go to my embellishment.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll start with the paper line and match the pictures.
Right.
But the embellishment is usually the third. So
Okay.
it's either photos, paper, embellishment, or paper photos.
embellishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes, there are lines that just draw me in, like I think
Like
when I
flags
was
and
thinking,
frills?
yeah, flags and frills. I mean, I bought all of it. And why did I buy all of it? I don't know. I mean, I don't have that many 4th of July
different.
type of photos, but it worked.
It is different for a typical 4th of July collection because it does have a lot of florals and things, which must be the frills.
Yes, and and that may have been the part that just drew me in on it too. I mean, I liked the florals in it. I liked some of the stripe in it. I really did like this floral piece right here. I think is what took me in.
I'll show you her favorite. It's
I
that
think
one
that's
right there.
what drew
and
me
that's called
in.
Blooming with Pride.
Yeah.
Peggy, they're also asking about your ruler. Is that a quilting ruler?
It is a quilt. It's an Omni Grid ruler.
So it's an Omni Grid ruler.
But
and
for the most part, usually, if I'm only going to go like an inch and a half in, I'm going to use this.
the Tim Holtz ruler.
This thing is always on my desk. It's always handy. The Omni Grid, if I'm going to go, if I want to find the center of my paper, the 6, going to the 6th, I'm going to use that because I know I'm going to be right there.
Okay,
So,
and now we have a question about cutting chipboard with the trimmers. Have you ever cut chipboard
I've never
with
tried
the chopper?
that, but I bet you could.
I think
bet
when
you
you get a
could.
free hand, why don't you ring the bell and we'll get some chipboard. And it's going to depend. When you say chipboard, there's super heavy chipboard. There's typical chipboard. There's thin chipboard. JoJo's. We need something that we can try cutting with in this trimmer.
This is a little thin. You want me to get something thicker?
Oh, this is good.
Okay,
This feels
that'll
pretty
work.
good.
Is it
But Chris,
too big?
it doesn't fit in our trimmer. Can you just cut a piece off? She's gonna. Chris brought us some chipboard. Yippee!
Yep.
Well, now you're just getting.
Yes, we are getting picky.
I didn't know
Okay,
that.
the size that she has right now is the 6.5 inch Tim Holtz trimmer from Tonic, and we also have the 8.5 inch, and we have a 12 inch. The 6.5 and the 8.5 are both on sale for $19.99. So they're $5 off. Thanks, Chris, for the 6.5 and $10 off for the. So it's like 30% off on the bigger one. And let's see. It sounds like people are having trouble with the video today.
Uh-oh.
We have,
I
and
just
I
ran out of
apologize for that, everybody. There has been trouble here in Iowa.
Yes.
We could not even call people yesterday. A lot of the phone systems were down. There was a water main break. Evidently, somewhere in a building that takes care of all the 911 networks and a lot of the other networks, which sounds kind of silly, but it took everybody down. I think Verizon was okay. So I'm sorry if it's buffering and things. Hopefully you can watch it on the rerun and it'll be okay.
I just ran out of adhesive.
Okay.
It's a good thing we have an adhesive sale going on today.
Yes, it is.
So this one isn't down, so you'll have
But
to just
I think we have the idea.
Yeah,
How you
so
can
there
just
you
keep
go.
adding them.
So it's very, I mean, I think this is a complicated look, but it's very easy to do.
You're just adding
It's just,
the same
it's very simple.
shape.
Yeah, the same shape, triangles cut from the 4x4, you know, and if you want them to be bigger, you know, cut it down to 3x3. If you want to use a 4x4, I think, you know, that 4x4 is going to work just as well on here. If you want to, you know, go back and forth, you just need 3 of them going all the way up to the top.
Well, there you
Four of
go.
them.
There's
You need
another
4 of them.
idea.
So, you know, you can do it, you know, with the 4x4, you don't even have to, you know, cut it down to the 3x3. So I think, however you want to do it, I think that's the great thing about using the 4x4 papers is that because they're square, you can, you know, you can do whatever you want with it. Oops.
And there's a lot of mentioning about buffering, Peggy, on the
Okay.
video today.
Alrighty.
And which is not related to what you're talking about, but and Letha mentioned weather, and there has been a lot of weather trouble. And I don't, you know, yesterday I think there was some trouble, some people that couldn't watch us, and so hopefully you can watch it on the rerun. All right, so now we're doing chipboard, and that it did cut the chipboard.
Yeah.
So that's the little trimmer, and then let's try it on the 8.5 inch trimmer, also cutting the chipboard. It's probably got a little more power to it.
We'll go the long way, make it work.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Make
go the
it work
long way.
hard.
And you'll notice Peggy's putting
So
her
easy.
she's holding it down on this guard, and that holds your paper in place. Or your chipboard.
Guys, cutting this is like cutting butter.
Is it really?
It goes smooth.
So you can
Smooth.
cut chipboard.
Yep.
This is not the super like book board,
Yep.
but it is kind of a medium weight. It's not that super thin
Yep.
chipboard. So it looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah, you sure can. You sure can.
And this looks really fun, Peggy.
Yeah. So I mean, don't shy away from creating a background because you think it, you know, may look like it's too difficult to do. This was very, you know, I mean, as you can see, it took me, you know, less than 5 minutes to do all of that. So easy to do, to have a really fun look. You'll also see on this layout, I used my stencil up there.
Oh yeah, you did stencils, kind of like hearts are
Yep.
pouring out.
I did my hearts on
Okay,
there.
so this stencil is from Make-A-Wish Birthday Girl.
This
It's called
isn't the
Birthday
exact same one, but it's going to do the
Birthday
same
Love
thing.
Hearts.
Yep, I'm going to do the same thing.
So that is that's very nice. I like that. And she's
And
got
again,
some
my
little
photo mat here is the
pearls.
4x4 square.
Oh yes, of course.
4x4 square in there. So I used that, and this is from just this past Mother's Day, and those little signs that those little boys are holding are right here, and they'll go on the back side of the,
Oh,
they
look at
wrote
the
out all the
drawings,
things.
you
Yep.
guys. Oh my gosh.
That's what I guess that's what Grandma Peggy looks like. And my very favorite, and I've said it over and over and over again, you know, since I got this, my 4-year-old grandson, I had them for a week while my daughter and son-in-law were on a work trip, and apparently I may have said this too much during that time, but he said that something that I always say is time to take a bath. Sometimes grandmas need breaks.
That gives Grandma a break when
Right?
they play in the bathtub. Especially
my
a
6-year-old
4-year-old and 6-year-old.
And my 6-year-old said that one thing I always say is, let's do this.
Oh,
So,
that's
okay.
cool.
Oh, and he also said, my job is
Scrapbook. Yay! And Peggy does have
Uh-huh.
a real job, you guys. This is her side job, so
I
we
only
know
have
what
4
we
more
know what
weeks
they
of-
think is important.
4 more weeks of that real job.
Yeah, Peggy's retiring, you
Yes,
guys.
4
We're
more
gonna have
weeks.
to have a little celebration here at Memory Bound because
more weeks.
that means more Peggy for us.
And she's looking forward to it.
Good.
I am looking forward
Well,
to it.
Peggy,
so.
I would say that you met the challenge of
Yeah.
the 4x4 Super Value Pack for
this,
sure.
The Summer Sunrise Nouveau drops
Oh, okay.
on here.
Oh, that's what
I
she
think
has
just
here.
so pretty on there.
It kind of picks up whatever color.
Yeah.
So that's the Nouveau
So pretty
drops.
with a little sparkle in it.
So you got you kept the 4x4s
Kept
solid
the 4x4 solid.
and did your matting of your photos.
Yep.
Then you cut them into triangles and
Yep.
layered those up and down for a nice little kind of
And they
grounding,
make a great place to put some journaling.
which you wouldn't think about.
I
This,
mean, I had plenty of room for it.
this
so.
totally threw me. These are cut into 1-inch strips, 1x4s, and there's 4 sets of 4 1x4s.
Yep.
That's a big mouthful. And then she took our 4x4s and cut them into 2x2s, and then cut them into triangles. And this one's kind of quilty looking.
Yep.
And
Which
so
I
was
thought was
the
great for a
strips.
mother.
Yeah, it is awesome. So Beth says she hopes you put this on your Instagram page.
I will.
And we will have it on our blog. And Peggy, thank you so much. Seriously, she did not have much time to do this, and she got it all done. And then remember also today that tomorrow is the last day for our what we're calling our paper party.
Yep.
And if you're in the area, stop in tomorrow between 11 and 1:30 and make a birthday card with Teresa. Let me come over here and I'll just remind everybody what it is. It's got stamping, and we're going to pop it up on a card base, and we're using the Tim Holtz stamps and putting a little piece of twine, and you'll have a birthday card that you might need for somebody. And then we also want to mention again one more time that Maggie has a new kit in town. There's a new kit in town, and it is the America the Beautiful canvas board. And what's really cool about this kit is it will be a virtual class in a private Facebook group. So you can make it with Maggie, or you can make it later. It's live or later. And the other really exciting news is that the glue press is back in town also. So that we got back in yesterday, and we'll get those out to people that had said they wanted to reserve one, or you can always go online and order it too. And then we also want to say we hope that by when we come back next week, Peggy, that all of our devices will be working, and phone lines, and everything will be back to normal once they get all of this corrected here. So Iowa's been kind of strange, everybody.
Yeah, it's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week, but we'll be back. So have a wonderful time, and we'll hope to see you tomorrow if you're
have
stopping
fun
in.
with the 4x4 squares.
Yes. Get creative with the 4x4s, and if you have other ideas, just let us know.
We'd love to see them.